Hello, and welcome to CHUB Cast, where we review 2 albums an episode spanning across some multitude of genres, with your hosts.
My name is Zach Smith, and I'm the bassist.
And I'm Ben, and I'm the vocalist.
The one who plays the guitar is me, Greg.
I'm Kyle, and I hit stuff with sticks.
All the way from Brighton, UK, combined, we make up the band CHUB. I hope you enjoy the podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to CHUB Cast episode 17, take 2. Because we fucked up. We already recorded this whole episode and then the footage got deleted. So we're going to do it again. But you didn't see that one, so don't even worry about it.
Yep.
This week is genre head-to-head, the prog special. We've got 2 fantastic prog albums that we're going to talk about. Hopefully you listened to them. Hopefully you reviewed them in the comments. If you didn't, get down and do it for next week. You put that shit in the YouTube comments. Just write a review for the albums that we're going to talk about. Then we'll talk about it next week. It'll be fantastic. Also, shoot us an email, a Twitter, a Facebook, the rest of it. chubtheband@gmail.com. #ChubView, #ChubTheBand, @ChubTheBand on Twitter and all the rest. Do it.
Hooray!
So, which one did we do first last time? We did
Mastodon.
Mastodon.
Yeah, first up we got Mastodon, which was Ben's choice. Take it away, Ben.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was Ben.
Oh no!
So long ago.
I forgot that was my choice. Hello everyone, welcome to CHUBcast. This is I chose "Crack the Sky" by Mastodon, which is their 4th studio album. Thanks, Kyle.
Let's give you the Mastodon Wikipedia
probably
sit next to you.
I don't. It's Kyle. I thought you meant like a web page. So I'll just be like, let me fact check for a sec.
It's taking up valuable brain space, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, it's their 4th studio album. Probably the most like proggiest out of quite a few of them. They've got like how many now? 8 albums maybe.
6.
6.
Thanks.
No, 7.
7. Oh yeah. I'm close.
So
The professor. So yeah, it's a real proggy psychedelic time. What did you guys think, Greg?
Whoa, no, that's not the same thing we did it last time. Everything's different now.
Thank God it's not me first. I feel like me starting last time just made the episode just nosedive into just boring. Like, the fuck's this guy on about?
Yeah. We re-recorded on purpose. All the issues are fixed.
Yeah, I'm so prepared this time. I didn't delete all my notes.
Me too. I didn't fucking accidentally choose a compilation album and have to redo my choice for next week. Don't worry. Mastodon, Crack the Sky. It's real fucking sick. I like it. I am a big Mastodon fan. I'm not wearing my shirt this time because it's in the wash now, so that one couldn't be fixed. I know. I do that every time. I didn't wear my protest shirt on the protest episodes. Fucking terrible. I'm gonna have to correct that in future.
Not a true fan.
Yeah.
You were going to
Anyway,
wear like a
trivia.
suit.
I really like
you didn't do that
trivia.
either.
I just wear my pajamas usually.
I mean, yeah, I've got trackies on, so I can't say shit.
So I'm still gonna do suits for. I didn't do it for episode 10, so I'm gonna do it for episode 20 now. Gonna remember totally.
Yeah, I'll believe it when
Yeah.
I see it.
Couldn't find a top hat in the fucking junk shops the other day. That actually looked.
I'll make you one.
Mate, I would love it.
I'll
Anyway.
make you one out of Christmas wrapping paper
That would be amazing.
and Pritt stick.
Origami
It's
mask.
probably the only way I'm gonna find one that fits in a giant head, to be honest.
So anyway, Mastodon.
Anyway, Mastodon, yeah, it's a really good album. Very prog, very space, very, like Ben said, bit psychedelic. Impressive musicianship all round. All the instruments were fantastic. The way that they meshed together was really impressive. This is our, what did we say, 5th high concept fantasy album that we're doing on the show.
We've done quite a lot.
Yeah,
The
we've
chub grows ever larger.
yeah.
No fecal demons though.
No. Maybe.
Mastodon was
It,
in.
For shame.
it did have a demon.
It
I
did.
mean-
It did have the devil in it.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, if he shits,
You don't know whether what a demon does in his spare time.
Yeah,
Could be a fecal-
yeah.
Does a demon
Do
shit in
demons poo?
space?
Because if so, there is probably a fecal demon, or demon fecal, I suppose. Yeah.
Humans
Anyway.
poo. Does it seem like people humans?
So these are the kinds of mind-shattering questions this album poses to us.
Yeah, man. It really
Deep
cracks the
stuff.
sky's limit of questions. Anyway, continue.
Butt crack. This. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Someone else. Kyle.
Well, I'm just trying to think of what we said when we tried the previous recording. Now I'm like, shit.
Hey,
So,
no one else heard, so just repeat yourself.
Yeah, it's really awkward though. But
It's
basically,
only
I think
awkward if
one
you
of-
make it awkward.
Yeah, I've forgotten everything, so this is a whole brand new conversation for me.
Yeah, actually, I was. Yeah.
Well, one of the things we said was that it's very much a spacey album. It's meant to be.
Well, Greg
So
already said that.
Mastodon-
Can you not repeat? Can you not
Yeah,
repeat
we
things? Please?
Fuck. Mastodon's first 5 albums were all based on an element, a classical element. So the first one, Remission, was fire. The second one, Leviathan, was water. Third one, Blood Mountain's earth. The fourth one, which is this one, Crack the Sky, is ether or air. And then the fifth one, The Hunter, is some people consider it to loosely be like the Chinese classical element of wood. So this one's the ether. It's about space. Lots of stuff in the concept happens in space, and it sounds very spacey. It's got very, as Greg said, vibes. It's very, very mystical and esoteric.
I did not
very
know
out
that,
there.
Kyle.
It's very like all the concept albums we've done, apart from Closure in Moscow. Although that was still about drugs, so pretty spacey.
Yeah, I still don't really get what their concept was. I think it was just I did drugs and had a crush on an imaginary woman.
Here's an album.
Yeah.
Well,
The Barometron has wormholes and shit in it, so I guess that part of the Chub net.
Yeah, that's true. And
my
oh,
goodness.
Brahma is a reference to Hinduism, and this album has a reference to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is a Buddhist idea. So religious themes going on there, maybe.
My goodness.
Chubweb.
And they poo.
And they poo, they shit, and there's religious themes.
Both Lord Vishnu and the Buddha both pooed.
I mean, if they didn't, they probably don't have bumholes. That's something to think about.
That's why he was. That's why the Buddha was so fat. He just ate and it never came
Yeah,
out.
he's full of shit.
He's literally full of shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
This is the high hitting criticism that you
Yeah.
watch Chubcast for, ladies and gents.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is what you
The
come
Buddha
back
is
for.
full of shit, even though Buddhism's like the only religion that I respect. But anyway,
Yeah,
moving on.
basically a Buddhist.
You know what? That's flying in from Tibet.
It's because it makes sense. It just makes sense. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
That's why it's the best religion, because you can make fun of it and it's permitted.
What are they gonna do? Forgive you? Yeah.
Nah, they'll fly a
God.
kamikaze plane into your house. But anyway,
Jesus.
I'm gonna restart
Well-
the recording and cut that.
I was gonna say,
Elements.
yeah, it's
Similar space.
the concept. So we'll run through the concept. It's about a paraplegic boy who lives in a wheelchair and he can't move. So to get out of the house a little, as you do, stop himself getting bored, he astrally projects his soul into space, and he gets lost, and his soul gets zapped through a wormhole. And he meets like some weird nature spirits and shit, and he meets Rasputin from the past. And Rasputin's about to be assassinated and all this shit, but he's like, I need to save this boy's soul. He's not dead yet. So the boy's soul kind of just chills in Rasputin's body for a while.
did you
Rasputin
pay the
doesn't-
toll?
Haven't paid the troll toll.
It'll get in that boy's hole. Anyway,
Anyway, that boy's soul.
it's boy's soul, not boy's hole.
Definitely not.
Starting off well here.
Oh, dear.
Rasputin and his weird occulty friends try and get him back to his body, but then Rasputin gets assassinated. They spiral up through the crack in the sky, and then they're kind of floating through space trying to find his body again when his parents find him and they think he's dead, and then the album's just like, well, that's it, and just leaves it open to interpretation. And it's also loosely based on
Cop out.
Grand Burpa's sister who killed herself when she was 14, and obviously that was very shit for him. And specifically the song Crack the Sky, or the album's called Crack the Sky. His sister's name was Sky. So it's kind of like a little throwback to her, a little tribute to her, whilst also telling this crazy intergalactic fucking Rasputin story. So yeah.
Multifaceted. Whoa.
In a way that only fucking Mastodon could pull off.
Yeah, lots of the lyrics have like double meanings as well. This was the most rich analysis of lyrics on Genius Lyrics that I've found so far of looking at any of them. Like every single line had something like, this is what it means in this context, and then this is, I mean, every single line basically said, do you remember his sister died? That's what the album's about. Yeah, his sister died. Like they kind of overemphasized that a bit. But also explaining the whole story and all the references and the scientific things that they mention. And somebody did a very thorough job on Genius Lyrics for this whole album.
He was Kyle.
I'm not quite that much of a Mastodon geek.
Okay. Yeah, he only wrote the wiki.
Yeah.
What sciencey stuff did it talk about, Greg? Tell us.
Well, I fucking can't remember. We talked about it last time. Oh no,
Yeah.
no, crust hum. That was it.
Crust hum.
Crust hum,
Oh,
the
yeah.
sound that the tectonic plates make. Spectralite is on the Hunter, isn't it? Not on this album. That's a scientific concept.
But we can handle that. How is that sciencey? I don't know. Tell me.
I feel like we made a fart joke
Actually-
about crust hum. Crust hum
We did.
definitely sounds like a fart.
We did, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
Crust hum.
I need a crust hum. Anyway,
Yeah, if you haven't
Just,
showered for a while, you know, don't wipe properly.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, yeah.
Nice. Oh, my crust hum, it's itchy. Anyway,
Oh,
science.
It's the sound that the swarm of flies make when they're attacking your takeaway pizza that's been sitting there for 2 months.
Oh god.
oh.
I used to be a student, so I kind of know what that's like.
Yeah.
There's one sitting right in front of my car right now. Old pizza.
God damn.
Man, I made a pizza today and I ate it all today. As if I'd let pizza sit that long. Way too much of a fat bastard for that shit, dude.
Yeah, also, I live here, so no food goes to my house.
Good to hear.
But if you leave it out, you can then
Yeah.
attract all kind of insects, and then that's like more food. You know, you can eat all the flies.
Damn. It's
Free.
like a never-ending cycle. Actually,
Yeah, man.
you know, speaking of
Fucking
never-ending
stomp.
cycles, you know, it's like a tangent. You know, Chansey from Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
got like,
Yeah.
a move called like soft boil, where he eats its egg and then he
Oh, yeah.
like heals itself.
Is it?
I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah.
It's kind of morbid.
So, if you think about it, she's just like constantly eating the egg and then shitting it out again and eating it and shitting it out again and then eating it and then shitting it out again. Because she's only eating
Oh,
her own egg.
God.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That happens in nature, though, right? Like animals will eat like their like stillborn.
Not over and
children
over
stuff,
again.
won't
Yeah, their stillborn will come out again. It'll come out as poo. But this Chansey egg... This is
Well, how do you know it's not,
Comes
how do you
out
know it's
as
not a
a-
new egg?
Because that's all he eats. So let's be honest, I don't feed my Pokemon. I just make her use soft boil in Pokemon. And
But
she's
my
like,
fish,
egg!
Frogs eat some period. That's
Mastodon.
Dude, my fish eat their babies all the time. It's really horrible. They'll give birth to about like
Animal
40 of them, and then just eat like all but about 5 or 10.
Yeah, my mum's Neon Tetra is pregnant, and it's just, you know, there's a shark in that tank, let's be honest. It's not going to
Oh,
have any
yeah.
babies.
They're very fucked. But no, it's like the mother with mollies and guppies and like live bearers. It will give birth to a little baby fish. And it'll just fucking eat it straight away. Like,
Ooh, food. This
where did
completely... And they wonder why fish have like 3-second memory. They like just gave birth and they go, "Oh, what's that?" Oh no! Immediately.
Oh god.
Gnarly, bro.
Truly terrifying.
So yeah, Mastodon.
So what did you think about Mastodon, Zach?
Well, I've let it simmer because last episode, well, the one that fucked up the recording, I listened to it like 2 hours before recording, so I didn't, and my notes were literally like 5 minutes into song 4, I liked the riff, it made my pee go wee wee and stuff like that. So my notes were a bit, bit shit.
Slightly more
but now I don't have any notes, so I wish I had those notes back. But regardless, I have a few things to say. Prog metal is not really my thing, or prog in general. I much prefer like your standard musical flow, I guess, of just I like choruses and I like singing along to songs. That's like what I like get out of music. I like singing along. So because of that, I personally like listen out for lyrics instead of musicianship, unless it's like a sick riff or something. I'm mostly personally listening to the vocalist. Which is why for ages I couldn't get into like death metal, like growly boys, because of that reason. It was only because of bands like Amon Amarth where I got into them, and Spherum, and that's because of the themes and the folky elements got me through, and then now that I'm into it. Mastodon though, I actually did like the album. I tell you what, there's like long boys in here. The Tsar, Usurper, Escape, Matir, Spiral. I don't know if that's 4 songs in one. Not the Tsar is like the whole collection, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tsar is one song, but it's in like parts because you got to get that prog
exactly.
side on you.
And that's when I start glazing over personally. I like Oblivion. I remember I liked Crack the Sky, and even though The Last Baron's long, I do remember liking it. I can't remember how it went.
Yeah,
though,
the Lost
but...
Baron's really spicy. Especially towards the middle, it's rock and roller riffs.
Oblivion came on in the car a couple of days ago, and I didn't skip it, and I really enjoyed it.
hey.
So I'm sure that, and like I said, like Mastodon have always been on my radar because of Kyle, and like I take my friends' music opinions into account with like stuff like this. There's a few other bands I've never listened to. Interpol, Ben's favorite band, but like they're on my radar, and I want to like get into them because they're Ben's favorite band. Does that make sense? So I'm like, if that's Ben's favorite band, then I'm gonna give them like an earnest go when it comes to it.
Yeah, you got a better chance of liking them than like some random recommendation from a stranger, because you know that you already have some taste in common.
Yeah. So yeah, Mastodon have always been on my radar. Everyone fucking loves them, and I can see why. I think. Oh yeah, I made a shit joke about Ozzy Osbourne being in the band. Kind of glad, kind of sad that joke got wasted, because now it's just like a bit meh. But yeah, one of the guys from Mastodon sounds like Ozzy Osbourne, and that was like one of the first notes I wrote. Actually,
Hines, isn't it?
I tell you what, there's one thing that we talked about last episode. Well, last time we tried recording this is that you mentioned that one of the vocalists is like mixed in the fan base, or like people who listen to it. And when I was listening to Oblivion, I don't know if all 3 of them sing on it, but all 3 sounded good to me.
Yeah, some people just don't like Brent's like proper voice. He's got a very weird delivery. I fucking love it. I think it's like one of the parts of Mastodon.
That's the guy that sounds like Ozzy.
Yeah.
I like that. The way he sings Oblivion's chorus is really good.
It's a big defining part of their sound, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I literally love his voice. Like he does a lot of the choruses or like some of the spicier bits in like loads of songs like Toe to Toe and like I think he's in Stargasm as well and like stuff like that. And it's just he's got a good voice. So I think some people are put off by like things that sound even in metal like communities, things that sound slightly not normal. I guess, or like conventional. So when someone's kind of sounding like a dying cat, like I mean, personally, I fucking love it, but I'm like, yeah, meow at me.
He sounds like when cats fight each other and they're like squaring up.
Yeah. 3 a.m, a cat in a bin just like fucking.
I just opened the window and I'm just like.
He definitely goes out on full moons and just howls.
Yeah. I'm like, Brent, get out the bin. Or whatever his name was.
If we get a cat, we should call him Brent.
Well, that previous album, Blood Mountain, is about a werewolf, so maybe that's the inspiration. Maybe he's a werecat and he's just channeling that energy.
Damn. A werecat. Is that
It feels like
a thing?
about but like stuff like his part on the Tsar, that spiraling up towards the crack in the sky part. We talked about this last time. That's like one of the best parts of the whole album.
Oh yeah.
And if any of the rest of them had sung it, it really wouldn't have done it justice.
Yeah. He I think for the most part, like Brent Hines excels at like the crescendo-y like climaxes of a lot of Mastodon songs, which is why Oblivion's definitely one of their best songs, just because him like as the focal point of the chorus, as well as like the spiral bit of the Tsar. Really like work, because like even though it kind of sounds like slightly whiny in a way, it's also because it's kind of like high. He has one of those singing voices vocally that's like low high, where he's like going but it's like it's weird. He like sings from here and here, and it sounds low and high at the same time, which is so bizarre, but it really sounds amazing.
I much prefer his whininess to like Escape the Fate whininess, like
yeah. That's like full on nasal.
Yeah, it's not like whiny like Blink 182 where they're like wee.
Hot take.
Like whiny where he sounds like a man, essentially. No,
yeah, I mean, like Ozzy Osbourne. I wouldn't say he's got a high voice, but he can sing. He can hit the high notes, but not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not many bands have free singers, do they? The only one I can think of is Amaranth.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's got a female front, a growly boy, and a clean vocal boy. And like for me personally, I think the clean vocal boy is kind of the growly boy and the female fronted like blend so well. But, there's always, but in Mastodon, like I think all three work really well. Yeah,
I think all three work, and personally, one of my favorites is the hidden fourth member, which is Scott Kelly from
Kyle
Neurosis.
Story. Congratulations, Kyle.
Kyle Story. Scott Kelly is the front man from a band called Neurosis, and I think in every album,
literally every album,
every single album, he's done like featured in one of the songs.
Yeah,
it's just like a little cameo, just like in the background.
He does a cameo. Well, I think for one of the songs in every album, for the most part, he's like he does like pretty much the entire main vocals of it. Like you got like Scorpion's Breath. You've got like
So what song?
What did he do in this album?
This album, it was
I think it was. Was it Crack the Sky?
Yeah, I think it is Crack the Sky. On Blood Mountain, it's Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
On Leviathan, it's Aqua Dementia.
Safety.
I can't remember.
It is amazing how they blend it so well. Because like something else we said last time was, I can't remember who said it, but on the first listen through of this album, they didn't realize that it was different singers.
Yeah,
I actually had the same experience. Yeah, I didn't realize there were more than one singer until listening through it for the podcast. And I'd listened to loads of songs off this album like loads of times. But maybe I'm just not very observant. But they do mesh it all together extremely well.
really well. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the one of the main reasons why I love Mastodon is like they're just riff kings, to be honest. They know when to let the instruments speak for themselves because they're all, not there's no just a singer, you know. So there's nobody like I want to be involved. They're just like the instrument. Their voices are just another part of, you know, the instrumentation of music to them. So they know when to like sit back and just let it do the talking. And like every single song has like there's not many bands I can listen to or a lot of people can listen to, I think, where they're sitting there and they're like oh, this next drum fill is sick or this next guitar part is sick. Like a lot of people be like, oh, I love this chorus or oh, I love this like lyric or something. But Mastodon, like every single song, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna get my fucking face kicked in by this next riff. And like, and the riff plays for like 2 bars. That's all you need, and it's just like, they
That's
just
all
make
you
it work. They
need,
don't.
but you just want more.
Yeah,
For me,
sometimes there are some disgustingly good riffs that come and go way too quick, too quick, and I'm really sad. I'm like, oh.
I know this is like the complete fucking opposite, but in the Ramones song, Now I Want to Sniff Some Glue, there's like a little breakdowny bit in there. I fucking love that bit. Luckily the song's a minute and a half long, so it don't take long to get to it, but I'm just like, give me more than fucking 4 bars of that, please. Come on.
I remember this was a complaint everyone had about Closure in Moscow as well.
Yeah, maybe that's something we should take into consideration with Chub. Like, is this riff really, you know, which I think it is for all of our songs, but like, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you have a particularly juicy one, maybe just linger on it a bit more than we would normally.
Yeah, I mean, we did it for fuck, Buried. I can't remember what we called it. Ironically,
Jerry? I can't remember.
the Ivory Moor. We wanted to like
Moor.
linger on the last breakdown for a bit longer because we wanted it to just play out for a bit because it's dank ting yo. Do you get me?
Yeah, we do the same thing at the
I
end
think
of
that's like-
Cover Kingpins as well. It goes on for quite a while.
Yeah.
So we're all happy with that riff.
Yeah, you really need to know like how long a riff you want to play it for, where it doesn't outstay its welcome, but also it's not like just a cocktease sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Me and Claire were listening to Thin Lizzy the other day, and the song "Boys and Back in Town" really shouldn't. How long is it? It really shouldn't be 5 minutes long or whatever.
Yeah, what
that
the
song
fuck?
drags way.
The whole
too
song
long.
is
It's a great
literally.
song. Yeah, it's 4 minutes and 26 seconds. It could easily be 3 minutes, and it would be a way better song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. And I think like I think and even that's why this album as well is kind of quite amazing when it comes to a lot of their riffage and the instrumentation is just because at the same time, as much nice tea as much as I like love a lot of the riffs in this, I don't like think that they're too long or too short. I think they are just right. And if I really want to listen to a riff in a song again, I'm just gonna replay the whole fucking song. And a lot of them have like this album has unbelievable replayability. It's amongst a lot of Mastodon fans, it's considered probably the best album. I'm not sure if it's definitely my personal favorite out of all of them, but it's absolutely in the top 3 at least. And yeah, I love it. The only thing I say I probably wouldn't give the highest sort of approval is just the last song. I like The Last Baron. I think it is one of those things that does overstay a tiny bit. Could have been a couple of minutes shorter than it was. But it does have some really, like Kyle said, has some really, really nice rocky riffs in it, so I can't hate it. But it's just sort of, compared to the rest of the album, it is a little bit of a shortfall. But apart from that, incroyable.
Damn. Well, do you want to round what you just said off with a rating?
Well, yeah, I guess I pretty much just said my final point there
Yeah.
without even having to segue. So with that all in mind, it is incredible usage of lyrics and themes, whether it's the concept or whether it's about sort of family members and suicide and everything like that, really heavy topics. You know, contrasting with like all the amazing riffs, all like the incredible instrumentation, vocals from like basically the entire band except Bill Kelleher, the rhythm guitarist. There he is. We got a signature from him when we met him.
We've just got casually a nice picture of this manly man hanging around our house. But we did meet him in Southampton a couple of years ago now, and he was very lovely.
Very
chappy.
nice guy. Yeah, really, really nice.
So yeah, that was cool.
And yeah, that Southampton gig was probably one of my like top 5 favorite gigs ever, because I was just like the whole time I was like, oh. So I think the best song they played was Ghost of Corellia.
I don't know, man. They had Scott Kelly there for that, which was the guy from
they did. Yeah.
And he's so fucking good. And they played all the songs he's on. He's on Blood and Thunder. It wasn't Aquadimension. He's on Blood and Thunder. And the last song they played was Blood and Thunder. And it kicked everybody's fucking head in.
We got in the mosh pit for that, and yeah, it was incredible. Anyway, enough gushing. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. Incredible. The only thing that's just putting it back a tiny bit was the last song going on for a tiny bit longer than I wanted to, which is fine. Doesn't mean it's a terrible album at all. It's fucking amazing. Listen to it if you haven't. Crack the Sky by Mastodon. Boom.
Kasplat.
Mic drop.
Nice. Pick the mic back up. Choose someone.
Final points. Anyone? Greg. Final points.
I would like to agree with everything Ben said, but with the caveat that I thought of it before he said it, so I'm not copying him.
Nice.
Yeah, I love everything about this album. Like Ben was saying, all the themes, the way they intertwine, every instrument is fantastic on its own. The way that they work together is fantastic. The replayability, the fact that, not each riff doesn't go on all that long, but you're looking forward to the next one so much that you don't care about the one that just went by. Literally, I can't even find a single fault. So I'm going to shit on all my past scores and what we did with the first take, and I'm going to give this a 10.5.
10.5. Last set. Give it like a 9.9999 or something. Recurring.
Yeah, and then I said one day I'd break the system, but you didn't know it was going to be today. Well, it is.
Oh no, I didn't. No. I thought you were gonna get like 9.99999.9 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that was last week, Greg. Everything changed.
Oh,
He
no.
can still follow his system, because if you find something better, you would just say it's like a 10.6 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
It'll be an 11
Yeah,
out of
it's
10.
flawless.
I'm gonna get all the way. I'll be giving stuff 100 out of 10s.
Yeah, it's 100 out of 10. Best thing I will ever hear in my entire life, and all the lives beyond that.
First job, like, Greg only gave this a fucking 9 out of 10. What? He gave Ghostman's newest album a fucking 11 out of 100.
Yeah. The fuck? What's going on there?
I'll start fucking with the ratios as well. I'll be like, I'll give it a 56 out of 8.
Well, I'm going to give this
Dream
album
Fit.
my Zach Seeloff, It's a Grower approval. Like me. Anyway. Way. No, I was like, in my head, I stamped on the screen, but I don't know.
You feel like you would.
Edit it in and post.
You know I'm not going to do that. Anyway. Yeah, I think I gave this a 5 because I was,
Wrong.
It was average for my personal ears, but it's growing on me, so I'm going to give it a 60 out of 100.
Woo!
Yeah.
Even number, pussy.
Yeah, I don't really have like a cool rounding up review, because let's be honest here, nothing's gonna match what you guys are saying. And Kyle, segue in, easy, seamless. No one saw that coming. Now Kyle is talking.
Didn't see it.
10 album. So is Blood Mountain. So is Leviathan. Emperor of
Spoilers. What if we review those? What if we do those on CHUB Cast, man? Come on.
He knows I bum lick Mastodon. Come on now. uh, I really like. Literally, yeah. I've been listening to this album since it came out. I've never once got even a little bit bored of it. I still listen to it all the way through, like regularly. As Ben said, Last Baron's a bit too long, but that doesn't detract from the album as a whole. In my opinion, it's a slam bammer. It's everything I look for in an album. It's got riffs. It's got chunk. It's got prettiness. It's got weird esoteric space shit to make you think about. You know,
It's got cross tongue.
It's got crust. It's got riffs. It's got chunk. It's got thick. It's a thick boy. That sounded better in my head.
Nice.
Singles. Go singles. Go singles. Swag. Go
Right, well,
singles.
my
Swag.
single is Initiative. 21st Century Schizo by King Crimson, one of the most influential prog bands of all time. Very fucking weird. 21st Century Schizoid, man. Their most well-known song. Their least weird song. Still fucking weird. It's about fucking psychology and weird shit, and how everybody's going crazy because the modern day is fucking weird, and it was written in the 60s, and it's prophetic as fuck, and everybody back then was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But now it's like 50, 60 years later, and we're like, makes sense. So, what do you think, boys?
I think it's a bit harsh of you to call it pathetic, to be honest. Like, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Prophet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Very strange. I think probably, the best thing you can say about it is just it's way ahead of its time. Like, the mixing of the genres. We got the fucking brass instruments in there. You got the kind of rocky tempo in some places. I definitely see why it's their most popular and well-known song, because, as you say, the further you go down the King Crimson rabbit hole, just like the more Wonderlandy it becomes. I got a little bit sort of Pink Floyd's early albums kind of vibes from their other stuff. Pink Floyd being another very influential prog band where, in my opinion, Dark Side of the Moon is fucking incredible, and like most of their other stuff I could probably just leave.
Oh, mate, that's
It's a hot take.
that is a hot take.
That is
Come at me, bro. What else have they got? Like,
Dude, fucking Animals was great. Listen to Animals.
I'm gonna have
Wish
to
you were
agree.
here. That was amazing.
I'm gonna have to agree.
Dude.
I'm gonna have to agree on that one.
oh, actually, tell you, there is I listened to their Greatest Hits album. What's the one where it's got like Shine On You Crazy Diamond and that shit? They've got some other good stuff, but like
That's my favorite Pink Floyd album.
Yeah, I wish you were here.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Wish You Were Here is like the most fucking heartbreaking song. Heart-wrenching, probably is a better word.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll that back slightly. They
The
do
Wall.
have other good stuff, but like
The
their
Wall.
early
All
stuff,
that.
like Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast, and what was it? What's the fucking album with the
Atom
20-minute
Heart
songs on it? That one, yeah, Atom Heart Mother. Yeah, garbage.
I mean, like, I have nothing to say. I've only ever listened to like the hits. So.
I listened to Another Brick and Wall the other day. Apart from the actual title track, nah.
Well, you
Not
listen to
feeling
the
it.
whole thing.
Overrated.
If you listen to The Wall, you got to do. I'd recommend either watching the movie with it or watching their live performances of it, because they do like a whole like theater production thing, and it's really
Oh,
fucking
did
cool.
it? Okay, I didn't know that. I literally
That's
just
like
listened
another
to part
band we're
2
talking about
and
later.
don't touch the rest of the album.
Ah.
Yeah, no, definitely listen to Animals as well. Like Pigs, 3 different ones, Dogs, and Sheep are all very good songs.
Okay. I will do.
Um,
King Crimson, though.
King Crimson, yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I said some stuff. Someone else say some stuff.
Okay. From what I remember of my notes, I said something like, wasn't this in an advert? And it's because Kanye West sampled it or something. So
Yeah.
that's a thing that happened in humanity. The fact that they sound like this in the 60s, I'm honestly not surprised they never really took off, because they were ahead of their time. I still don't like it, though. The guy he kind of sounds like... I actually can't remember any of the lines, so I'm not going to do that. But I don't know.
He's a bit
Oh, the
distorted
vocals, yeah, they're very distorted.
It's distorted. I get that's the point, but like it sounded like shit to me. Like
I think it's pretty cool.
loads of
I
bands
think
do
that's one of the
distortion, but good for them.
Yeah, to be honest, it was like that. We went into Resident the other day, and I for the life of me, I can't remember what we were listening to, but there was this female vocalist singing whilst we were just looking at like different records for Kyle, and like there was some fat distortion on her voice, and it ruins. Like I'm sure she probably has a lovely voice, but like I like distortion. I mean, I listen to bands like My Bloody Valentine who are literally just distortion, and even that sometimes like some bands like just stop, all right, you don't need that much. Like I want to hear what you're saying. You don't doesn't have to be like an announcement from fucking As the Superstore where it's like staff announcement.
We're now preaching. This train leaves in 10 minutes.
And I'm like, oh, this is a
There you go.
Oh my
That's
god.
my rendition. Kanye West, eat your heart out.
Zach hit the nail on the head on there. I'm really sorry, Carl. This song's garbage.
No,
This song is garbage. It's hot garbage.
I like this song.
It's
I actually do really like this song, despite not liking the rest of their stuff.
Like say we need
I
hit the
really-
Thunderdome and fight to the death.
I listened to a few of their other songs. It's definitely like avant-garde for sure.
Yeah.
Like and it's like looking at art, and then like some people like I was having a discussion with Sean the other day about like I think Frida Kahlo or something, like an artist, or like there's an artist that basically like she has an unmade bed, and that's the art. And I feel like this is it. This is kind of like the equivalent of it, where like you know, someone would be like, look at King Crimson, look at what they're doing for music, and I'm like, it's just noise, and I don't like it, and it sucks.
Oh man,
Even,
I still
And,
can't believe King Crimson went on to do Ghostman. That's crazy.
bruh. Obviously, the bed comparison
Got,
was
like,
like to the other stuff.
We got like hordes of like weird 60-year-old hippies fucking coming and banging on the door with pitchforks and torches now.
Right, so that does make sense.
Dear.
But yeah, like for the most part, like this song was definitely like their most mainstream and less like avant-garde. So less bed, more just shit painting, really. If we're still going with that analogy,
Amazing.
it's
This song is like the sonic equivalent of like a Francis Bacon painting. Where he literally
Who's that?
he just fucking like he's one of those people who like
Oh,
gets
he
paint
just
on the
goes like
brush.
that.
Yeah, like all of his paintings are like the inner machinations of my mind, and it's just like a black ball or something.
except it
And then he
out
goes
like
and shoots up a school or something.
spilling over or something.
Just me. Yeah, do. Oh dear. It's like that guy in Bird Box where he's like drawing all the fucking, you know, eldritch horrors, going all crazy. That's just what I imagine when you were talking about that guy. Just like some nut job that's just fucking slapping shit on a piece of paper, and it's all kind of disturbing. And you're a bit like, okay, you should probably have
He's very
take a seat.
disturbing.
If I can bring a sort of flimsy defense for King Crimson, like
Please.
it is meant to sound all schizophrenic and horrible and like traumatic. This song, like it in a very avant-garde, wanky way, that is designed to match the theme of the song, which is like trauma and society breaking down and everyone going insane. So
I do want to say that you guys defended it much better in the last attempt at this episode.
I feel like the attacks weren't as strong. We were all quite mild on it last time.
Well, I'll be honest, last time I was like a bit down for some fucking reason. So now I'm like a couple of beers in and in a good mood. So I'm attacking it.
Yeah, tear it down.
Yeah, I feel like that's all well and good as a band if you're if that's your goal to be but at the end of the day, like we've said for a lot of bands, it works both ways. Like the music comes first, and like I'm not necessarily like too keen on like either the intention or the story or anything like that. The music's good, fantastic, whatever. I don't even care, even if it's about fecal demons. Like I'll still get on board.
Especially if
Come on, man.
Especially if it's about fecal demons. But for me, like if this is like one of their best songs, like it's a hard pass for me for King's Crimson. So I give it a thumbs down. Kyle, what's your final?
Final points, and then we should move on.
we should do thumbs up, thumbs down instead of ratings for singles. That's a good system. I like that.
Yeah, thumbs down for all you audio listeners from me. I know Ben asked Kyle, but I'm now talking, and now Kyle.
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah, now Greg's talking. Thumbs up from Greg. Thumbs down from Zach. Kyle is changing the channel on the remote.
That's thumbs up for me. This is another one for the Chubnet because we previously did Roundabout, which is a motherfucking JoJo reference.
Oh yeah.
There is a bad guy in JoJo called King Crimson also, so that's another fucking JoJo reference.
There you are.
Nice.
So,
Good for the channel orange, which is a color, and so is crimson.
Oh
God.
Orange, which is orange as well.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
God. Frank Ocean Code Orange.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
The Chubnet. And there's probably something to do with a king somewhere. Anyway, shall we move on?
Glory Hammer had a king in
Glory,
it.
yeah, the Glory Hammer.
In
He's the king of the
story.
universe.
Yeah.
At the end of the gig, they put a crown on him. It's so good. Oh, well, yeah. During the show, they like get out the astral hammer and shit, and then like the baddie, who's like Crispos, just like starts talking to the audience, and he's like, "You shall all perish," and everyone in the audience is like, "Boo!" It's proper like pantomime. It's great.
Oh,
That's so
good.
good.
What's he like?
Right. Other single, which was Greg.
Oh, my single.
Yeah,
Your single.
Greg.
It was my single. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say the name.
I forgot
yeah,
what it was.
This song is called Triptych by Arcane
yeah.
Roots. Brighton based. So right close to where we're from. I can't remember how I phrased this last time, but like it's a slightly melancholy experience listening to this song because you listen to this album, you realize how fucking sick it is. You look them up and then you find out they disbanded in like 2015 or 2017 or something. And they went their separate ways. But I'm glad they made this album and their other stuff before they did because it's really cool. And this is just I picked this one because it's my personal favorite of their songs. They have loads of other good songs as well. What did you think, Ben?
Yeah, me like feel good on brain. Nice thoughts. Kyle.
It make my pee go big and green.
Oh goodness. Grief.
Zach.
I thought that this was really good. I really liked the guy's vocals. His vocal delivery was right up my street because he was all high. Probably was high, I'm assuming, but as in high pitched.
Probably.
That's like my jam. I like me when my boys and the girls are singing in the high notes. Yeah. Speaking of notes, I don't have any. So fuck my life.
Neither did we Ben, so
God damn it. I just remember liking this song. I just remember liking this song.
I think you probably hit on the most salient element, which is the vocals are really cool. I think they're the thing that stands out the most. It's got like nice guitar and like the rest of the instruments fine, but they don't really stand out as much. I'd say the vocal performance really makes this song We spoke a bit about the lyrics last time, which are pretty nonsensical. I couldn't get any meaning from them.
Do you have any?
That's why it works.
Huh?
That's why it works.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, because one of the main lyrics is, how's it go? It's like, the architecture gave up the sect, something, something, and it made no sense at all. And he keeps repeating, and it made no sense at all. So,
Yeah.
in a similar way to King Crimson, working with the theme, it made no sense at all.
yeah, but it's
Pretty much.
Ah. And that's
That's how you do it.
how you do.
When
That's
we-
how you write prog. It makes no sense at all.
A triptych, three-part painting, right? So we were saying like maybe it's about like art and your own interpretation and all that shit. About how like art means different things to different people and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Like if you're a serial killer, you slap random bits of paint on a piece of paper and you're probably going to kill someone. Wait, that sounded more like in depth in my head.
Were you linking it back to King Crimson when we mentioned when
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
about
When you were talking
Yeah.
about the guy that was like slapping a piece of shit and he said, "This is a black hole and this represents my deep thoughts about depression and all that." And is that an AK-47? I'm just gonna.
Yeah, all you have to do is slap a bunch of words together and be like, "This represents uncertainty,"
Yeah,
and all the award shows just start ringing you.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Fucking Oscar
bro.
bait. This song is Oscar bait, bro.
we appreciate how sort of like ethereal and sort of spacey these guys sound in most of their songs. Really, like I don't know whether it's through like the instrumentation where it's kind of quite it leaves like a lot of sort of not space but kind of like a lot of lingering notes and everything, and also like from where the vocals are quite high and like soaring. It's like a lot of Arcane Roots' kind of sound is definitely like it makes you feel like you're flying a lot of the time. That's the kind of feeling that I get from a lot of their songs.
Yeah,
Like, "Ah!" And, like yeah, they're definitely like one of the best like bands that I've heard recently. I've found out have broken up, and I'm so sad about.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember. I think the last one I felt like that was I don't know. Maybe it was like the Mars Volta or something like that. I can't remember, but like there's been a few things where I've been like, oh fuck, but this has been the worst one because I've listened to like a couple of their albums now where like every song slaps, including like Triptych and yeah.
Melancholia Hymns is the album.
Melancholia Hymns is it's my favorite for sure.
this album's Blood and Chemistry.
Oh, oops.
Oh my god. My god.
Both good albums. I
God.
prefer this one. It's a bit more exciting in my opinion.
Yeah. This one's a lot more exciting in like it's more like dynamic. I think it's got a lot more.
It's got more of
like,
that story. You're talking about.
It's a little bit like slightly. I think in some parts it's slightly heavier. Plus,
Yeah.
Melancholy Hymns has got a bit more of the almost dreamier kind of sounds. And I think I prefer that just because the little indie boy in me is like.
Yeah. I feel like Melancholia Hymns as well is a lot more like emotional. Like
Yeah.
one of the things they've really got going for him is like the singer really is channeling a lot of emotion through his voice. And Melancholia Hymns, I think they knew that it was going to be like their last release. So there's a bit of that bittersweetness going on there. And yeah, like it's like certain songs really. I find that his voice is really hard to emulate because it's not only high pitched, but it's really clear and powerful as well. And yeah, you can feel that he really fucking cares about what he's singing about. It's like super serious business to him. So yeah,
Whatever that may be.
yeah, whatever
He
the fuck it
cares
is.
about it so much. Not even he knows what it is.
Well, maybe it's just one of those songs where it's like, I just need to, you're trying to put words to how you're feeling, which isn't necessarily an easy thing to do.
They say the job of a poet is to say that which can't be said.
Kind of
As,
like
some-
slapping paint on a piece of paper.
Exactly. Self-expression, baby.
As a famous once said, Microwave Dave died in spoons. So
Yeah.
Who the fuck was that?
That represents mortality and
that represent the fleeting
Well,
passage. There you go.
That represents the quality of Weatherspoon's dinners.
this thumbs
Oh,
up
yeah.
gets a thumbs up. This song.
it's a thumbs up from
Thumbs
me.
up. Thumbs
Hey.
up.
Let's go.
Whoa. Ayreon. Are we ready? Guys, stop that, guys. Later, please. Ayreon was my choice for prog head-to-head. Apart from Pink Floyd, I probably could have chose Dark Side of the Moon, because that's like literally the only other. Or like Rush 2112. But I didn't because in the spirit of the show, pick shit that people don't know, including myself, because I didn't know who this was. Ayreon. It is a huge project created by Arjen Lucassen, who has founded 10 different projects and bands. Ayreon started in 1995, being his most established. This is all what Claire gave me. Claire gave me intro notes. Bless her. So Ayreon albums are all conceptual and classed as rock operas with live performances in mind. I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that he wrote these albums for the live performances. Which,
Yeah, because
to
he
be
said
fair, makes
he
sense.
only does them rarely, right?
He does do them rarely, but when he does, it's like a spectacle. So I guess with the arguments that the music faltered because of the story, if he's writing it for a stage show, I guess that makes a bit more sense now. That's what you guys said in the last recording, by the way. Yeah, spoilers. The vocalists each have roles or characters in this story. All Ayreon albums, apart from the latest one, Transitus, are within the same concepts referred to as the Ayreon universe. It's kind of like the Marvel MCU or something. That's what Claire said. So it's like that. Around 60 different musicians used throughout all of Ayreon's albums, and roughly 80 vocalists. Some well-known singers are Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, Devin Townsend, Simone Simmons from Epica, Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth, James...
On this album?
I don't think he was on this one, no.
I didn't realise he'd worked with them.
Yeah, no. That's why I wanted Claire. James Labrie from Dream Theater, Hansi Kirsch, Blind Guardian, Tommy Karavic, oh my god, this is horrendous, from Camelot, Floor Jansen and Marco Hietala from Nightwish, Jonas Rentsky from I don't know who that is, Fish from Marillion, Tobias Sammet from Edgar and Avantasia, Dee Snider from fucking Twisted Sister, and many more. Many more. Fuck it hell. Those were hard.
I was a bit worried you were going to do the whole list.
Mate, I would never do that. Fuck that. I was just reading out the ones that Claire wrote. And yeah, right, I'm gonna fire this at Greg again. You know, we're gonna pick on Greg Day.
Oh yeah. Ready. Go.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one to talk about because, as you say, it's intended in a very different way from most of the albums that we listen to. So it's a rock opera or a metal opera or whatever you want to call it. It's like an audio presentation rather than a musical album in a way, because you can't separate the story from the music, which goes back to what Ben referenced earlier. What we were saying last when we tried to record this about Mastodon is, with Mastodon you got the concept and you got the music, and you can enjoy them completely independent from one another. You might not even realize it's a concept album, and like that's fine. You don't have to know about the storyline in order to understand what's happening. But with this one, you really can't separate them in the same way. I found when I kind of was a little bit into it, and I realized what he was going for, and I understood what I was experiencing. Like, I liked it, and then I lost patience with it, and then I stopped liking it, and then I was like, please make this end. Please, can we stop now? And like, I respect what he's doing, and I think he achieved what he set out to do. I should say, the whole team of all the people who worked on it. But I just am not a big fan of what they tried to do. So I think it's good, but it's not necessarily for me.
I think one thing that like would have made it maybe better is if we'd watched like the live DVD that came out of or something. Because you know, that means you get to watch what he intended as well as listen. But yeah.
So do you literally have characters on stage going like, ah, da, 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 like an opera?
I mean, if you look at one of the stage shows from like the latest one, I don't know what album it was, but they've got like a huge castle on stage, and like you have some singers up there, some singers down there, like an opera, and it's all like theatrical. It's not like when we see a Monomarth and you have a couple of Vikings slashing each other with sticks. It's like proper theatrics.
It must be expensive, because I mean the amount of big names he's got on the album and the amount of money that goes on the stage show and all that shit, like
I mean that's probably why he only does like 2 a year.
Exactly. Like the closest example I can think of is Devin Townsend, when he did he quite often does like big shows with orchestras and stuff, and he did like a suite of like his 4 acoustic-y ish albums. But yeah, they're kind of like once in a lifetime things, because it must be, I mean, the amount of preparation, the amount of money, like
I mean, like
I actually
I was just
going to throw in another example.
Internet.
When we almost did a classical episode, I was researching Yngwie Malmsteen's. He did a full-on show with the Japanese Philharmonic Orchestra, and that was like similar amount of like ridiculous effort put into one show, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you go.
Oh, I was just going to mention when we saw the Disturbed at Download, and we were just like, are they going to have like the full-on like drums and you know singy ladies at the back during the Sound of Silence cover? And they did. It was awesome. But like, how long are they going to do that for? Because it's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, even that as well, it's like literally, let's bring some singy ladies along for that one song sort of thing. Like,
one song.
Yeah. Whereas at least with Ayreon, it's like a whole thing.
Yeah. Kyle, do you want to do a quick summary of the story, of the space story
I don't
once
know
again?
this time, so I'm going to have to try and remember it from memory. But,
I can remember it if you want.
I'll give it my best. I think it would be funnier if I just cobbled together my shitty version of it in my head.
Greg, chime in if you remember anything.
If you miss something super important, I'll tell you.
So basically, one of the things that they build up in the previous albums in this story is that there's like a race of like alien people who live on planet Y, which is why the album's called 01 whatever, because it means Y in binary.
010110001.
I read something else that said it means help.
Oh, there's binary that plays in one of the later songs that's like SOS and shit. Like there's a Morse code where they say all sorts of random shit.
Alright.
But so basically it starts off on this planet, and it's a race of people aliens called Forevers, and they've discovered this technology that allows them to be immortal, but it costs them their emotions. And they're like an aquatic race, and they've had to transform the planet to have a bunch of machines on it to produce this stuff what's it called, liquid eternity or something?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
That makes them immortal at the expense of their humanity. And basically the first disc is all just them arguing with each other like, hey, did we fuck up? I think we fucked up. No, we didn't fuck up. We're immortal, bro. No, we fucked up. Emotions are important.
Nah, bro. Come on,
Try
bro.
again. Nah, bro. Come on, man. And it does this for like 6 songs. But I digress. And then the second CD, they decide, yeah, we did fuck up actually. Let's try this again. And so they decide to yeet their DNA onto a comet.
Yeet.
Comet
I love that word.
kills all the dinosaurs, and the DNA mingles with the proto-humans, and they evolve way faster. And basically, the Forevers like fuck with our evolution and make us evolve way faster and become way more intelligent than we would have normally. But then, because all that stuff, like we start making all the same mistakes they did, and losing our emotions, and not really caring about each other, and destroying the planet. And they're like, okay, well, we fucked up. This was a failed project. And then, like, fifth extinction happens, and humanity ends up killing themselves. And the Forevers are just kind of chilling on another planet, like, oh, well, let's try again, boys, sort of thing.
Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Let's fire our jizz onto another fucking rock.
Literally just intergalactic jizz comic.
Yeah.
Standard Tuesday night.
Oh dear.
Kind of.
God no. Mastodon, we were talking
Dude,
about
when
poo,
we
now
do-
we're talking about jizz. What's going on? What went wrong?
When Chub does its inevitable like switch to prog on our like 8th album, we need to call it Intergalactic Jizz Club.
Yeah.
Right, the comet.
The comet! Oh my god, right, the comet. That's missed opportunity, Ayreon. You should have called it right, the comet.
I'm gonna
Excuse me. Oh dear. Yeah, yet another fucking space-themed conceptual album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Are there? I mean, the only concept album that I actually knew about before we did this Chub Cast, because I actually didn't know that Kyle was well into concept albums, was American Idiot by Green Day.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's a concept.
Yeah.
That's a concept.
I don't even know what the concept is.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
all
know
about
it's a concept
Jesus
album.
of Suburbia.
I didn't know that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Fucking sick album, but regardless.
Not quite
concept-
so like cerebral and spacey, I guess, as the ones that we've been looking at.
No.
But yeah, they come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not necessarily a good thing. Like I feel like one of the things that really put me off this album is how it takes itself really, really seriously. But it's got songs like where they just shout E equals MC squared, and I'm just like, what?
Which is what I said in the last episode. I liked.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, I like a lot of pretentious music, but like, this album was like on the line for me of where I was like, okay, come on now. But then, as I said today, I actually listened to his other 2 CD album called like something Electric Castle, Journey to the Electric Castle or some bullshit.
Into the Electric Castle?
Yeah, and that one fucking crossed the line for me so hard. It's like the most pretentious thing I've ever listened to in my entire life. And it made me like this album less. I was kind of lukewarm on this album. And now that I've heard his other one, I'm like, fuck, I see what you're doing. Fuck you.
Oh, damn.
Nah. I take back my benefit of the doubt.
Damn. So it's not for you guys, I'm assuming, because that's what the takeaway was. I had a feeling
Well, I
that
like it
would
so
be
much.
the case, to be
Musically, I
fair.
actually do like it.
Yeah.
Musically, it does a lot of
I don't
interesting
even like
things.
it.
It's got lots of influences. The vocal performances are all good. Everything goes on too long, but like, it is good.
I had a sneaky suspicion that you guys wouldn't like it, but I chose it anyway, because Chubcast and fun. But
Yeah, I mean,
Controversy
maybe
is
like
content.
like it. Interesting.
So I actually for this Chubcast, I actually re-listened to the album again fully. I
really?
sat down before it was kind of like a listen sort of thing and kind of like ad lib everything. So I ad libbed the previous one, but actually wrote loads of notes for this one. So I did more of a deep analysis. So you're welcome, everyone at home listening to Chubcast take 2 on this, on episode 17.
So whereas I have no
I-
notes, Ben has lots.
Yeah, essentially. So got a lot of space to fill.
Go on, Ben. Fire away.
Her space to fill.
Like a comet into a giant space shore vagina. Anyway, filling her up. Continue.
Yeah, filling the lovely cummy comet. Oh god.
Fill my black hole.
Giving giving Earth the cummies.
Oh, giving her planets cummies. Oh, anyway. Anyway, what the fuck does this turn into?
When we tried to record this before, I was like, "Hey, there's loads of weird sexual references in this episode for some reason." I'm glad we've kept that going. Like,
Yeah.
it's even worse.
Why are we
It's even worse.
Maybe these are inadvertently sexy albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think we're just weirdos, to be honest. I just think we're...
yeah, I mean,
well, yeah.
Speak for yourself. I'm
actually
incredibly normal. Anyway, continue, Mr. Ben.
so here's the thing with some prog. It's not just like Ayreon in the respect that it's kind of like this is probably quite a bit unique for them because it's a metal / rock / space opera, I guess. In the respect that it's very vocally focused, very like thematically focused, and it's more to do with the live show rather than necessarily the actual music itself, which kind of reminds me. I mean, at the same time, that's not really an excuse because like people say Hamilton is a great fucking show, and also it does have amazing music. I've never seen it. I can't say, so I don't know. But people who like theatre say Hamilton's like the best thing since sliced bread. So
Everyone fucking loves Hamilton.
You could say
Apparently,
Hamilton wins the Grand Prix all the time because he's in the faster car.
he sure does. Anyway, there's a lot of moments on this album, listening through it again and really like you know, paying more attention than I did before, that I loved, in all fairness, and they are fleeting and they don't come back as much as I want them to, and the stuff that I hate sticks around for way too long, and that's a problem with a lot of prog in general.
Yeah,
whether it's like
I can relate to
bands
that.
like King Crimson, where you know they'll do like a really cool bit, and I was like, more of this, please, because this sounds awesome. And then they'll have like 9 extra minutes of going like, essentially, there's a lot of stuff in this album from Ayreon that just generally I don't think fit well with me, just because I think because it's like a rock opera, it has a lot of sort of rock like opera cliches in a way. It has to fit kind of a lot of those kind of like moments where there's like really high kind of like operatic vocals and everything like that. You know, you've got examples of like the first song on the album, for example. I can't remember for the life of me what it was called.
Age of Darkness.
Age of Shadows.
Yeah,
We Are Forever.
So I wrote down like the rocky bits were really good. I love the middle singing bit, with like, you know, I think there's a bit section in the middle which is like really good, where it's like a female vocalist where she's just sort of singing normally. But there's bits where there's like really high like opera singing sort of towards the beginning, towards the end, and it just ruins the entire song for me. I don't know necessarily if that's like a personal thing, but
Definitely not.
There
No,
there
it
are
definitely
some
is a personal thing, but I agree.
there's a couple of moments like that on a lot of the songs in this album where like it's a great song, and then like there's this one bit that happens and I don't know why it just ruins the entire song for me. Like there was a song where it was blah 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 blah, connect the dots. I actually have
That was
some
my
lyrics
favorite
here.
song, from what I can gather.
Yeah, the bit that I hated on Connect the Dots was the rest of the song was really good. The riffs were like I enjoyed, and then there's a bit where it's like, and on that shining day there is a way for our DNA to reach a world to stay, and like that little
So I remember
sounds
that.
fucking
that hook is one of the worst things I've ever heard.
Oh,
I don't know why. Like, it ruined the entire thing. And they have little tiny moments in every single song on this album that, like, where it could have been great, but for some reason, I don't know whether it's because there's multiple singers on the album, so they have to, like, sort of pander to every musician, like, so they get a little bit, or what. But, like, there are some
I think it's a character-driven thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it's trying to tell a story. It's focusing so much on telling the story. It just there's so many, like, wordy segments where it's like, okay, we need some exposition now. We're just gonna talk endlessly. Let's sing.
There's definitely a couple of songs in the second album where they, like, talk about how we need to do something in, like, 3 songs in a row, I swear, where they, like, say something along those lines of we need to do it, that kind of thing.
This isn't working, we need to try something else,
which is just fucking panto. That is just panto, you know. Fucking
it's like
silly. It's behind
kind of
you, it's not working.
I feel like it's the songs, and the best songs for me were the songs that were more songs. Like, I really enjoyed The Truth Is Here, because it was even though it was, like, kind of like, I really enjoyed the kind of dynamic where there's a guy who's saying, like, it's between, like, an old guy who's kind of going crazy and, like, the nurse who's trying to calm him down and being like, you know, have you taken your pills today, kind of thing, and she kind of interjects in his vocals when he's doing it.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
when she's
I liked
singing,
that one too.
And I really enjoyed that one. It was slightly less focused on the story because it was kind of more a concept within itself. With this guy being like, "Oh, there's more." And I really enjoyed that one, and that was on the second part of the album rather than the first. And I really enjoyed, like, there's a couple of things as well that like, you know, where it was kind of good, but for the most part, like, I feel like because it's a rock opera and because a lot of it was very vocally focused in regards to trying to tell a story, the music faltered really, really badly. You know, some bits, like one of the bits that Kyle mentioned earlier, that I reckon probably could have been relatively prophetic if, like, said in, like, a proper, like, line, was in E equals MC squared. But because it's sung and because it's so forced, it just comes across as some of the worst, like, lyrics I've probably ever heard. Like, there's a bit where it says, "Show them our world as it dies, cut through the barrier, and do what no one has dared. Let's break the equation, E equals MC squared."
Bro, I love that shit, man. I fucking love the way they rhyme with the phrase E equal MC squared. I mean, there's where your difference. You say no, but you know it's all like down to personal preference.
You could have a rhyme with that where it made sense. Like, I have no idea what that line means. You could have something else rhyme with M equals MC squared where it, you know, has a clear meaning.
I feel like it's like, it's the fact that it's even there in the first place is just. I didn't want to use the word cringe, so I'm going to use the word.
Definitely avoid the word cringe. That word is just dead.
What was it?
Well, what do you think? I really like that one. It kind of go the reason for liking it kind of goes against the whole, like, point of why it's there, of just, like, to tell a story. But for me personally, it sounds, it's just like, it's that kind of shit that I like, where it's just like, it sounds cool to me. Just for me, it doesn't really matter that it doesn't make sense, but also I get that it probably should make sense because it's a story. But yeah, personal preference.
But that wouldn't matter so much if the album wasn't so reliant on the story. You know what I mean? Like, in a different album, you could get away with that because the story wouldn't really matter.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like you really want to know exactly what they mean because that's what they've committed to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to put across. Is that
And
yeah, Greg, you said
meant
it right.
Sorry,
by the fact.
No. You said it exactly how I wanted to.
And that's definitely what I like alluded to in the fact that line could have been prophetic or been like relatively well done in like a play, like it's trying to go for if it was like said in a certain way, but because it was like relatively forced into a lyric in a song, where obviously there's musical accompaniment, it just felt like way too forced, and that like I felt like that's why like it was like definitely like there was a point I was literally downstairs. And I literally was just like, when I heard it, I was like, no, like I
I thought he was in pain. I was like, "Are you all right?" Downstairs.
See, that's crazy because when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, that's good. I like that." Oh. So,
comedy is a subjective thing.
yeah, man.
Yeah, we
Go
touched
talk
on
about fucking Captain Yarface about comedy, bro. Come on.
Now there's a fucking concept album, mate. That's some high concept shit.
Yeah, man. What about fun?
One of the things we touched
Parties
on
and shit.
episode was that in general I don't really like this like it's the same reason I struggle with like a lot of power metal or symphonic metal where it's like it takes itself very seriously, and it's like I've never been able to really deal with that. And I have that same sort of thing with like a lot of, it's the reason I don't like a lot of sci-fi or high fantasy is I find it hard to get past the like the fact that it's kind of like inherently silly, but you're trying to pretend that it's not.
Yeah,
And
I feel like you're. I was thinking about this actually, Carl. I feel like it's silly and serious at the same time as in anime. Because I mean, someone would look at One Piece and go, "That's kind of cringe, bro. What the fuck?" But
yeah, there's a lot. That's the thing. Like a lot of people would look at One Piece and they'd be like, "How am I supposed to take this seriously when the main character's an idiot who's got like a stretchy pee-pee or whatever?" But like, for me, like the fact that it doesn't take itself really like for the viewers out there, One Piece is like my favorite like piece of media besides music there is, and I think it's like the reason I love it so much is because it deals with really serious topics, but it never takes itself seriously. You know, it never like tries to be like.
no, but
Okay,
I used One Piece as an example. I meant anime as a whole.
Oh yeah, anime is super fucking cringe at times, and I don't feel anything.
Thing. Where you draw the cringe line is very subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe I don't know. We might get a consensus on whether one thing is cringe or not, but that's like it's not definitive. It's not. If somebody else thinks it's not, then that's fine. Like it's fine to like this. I think that I don't know. It's necessary to say that, but yeah, like it is absolutely fine to like this. And if you want to take it seriously or not, it's all cool. But like I don't know. We can also have our subjective perceptions of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I mean, that's what like the whole argument about the word cringe anyway is that like most people who use the word cringe these days, it's like, oh, you like this thing more than I think you should, or something, you know, or they're like, oh, you're being nice to this person, that's cringe, bro. It's like, oh, and it's weathered the word away, but at the end of the day, it's only people who have a subjective opinion are treating it like an objective one, and I'd never try and say that this is flat out cringe, and if you like it, you're weird or whatever. But just to my personal taste, I find it hard to enjoy stuff that takes itself really seriously when the topic is somewhat silly, you know?
Yeah.
I guess
No, I do. I'm on your side. I think it is cringe personally, but like, you know what I mean?
The word I was looking for before was noisome.
Noisome, yeah. And we find that in a crossword the other day.
I think so.
For me personally, it takes a lot to cringe me. I find so much shit cool, and I find this story awesome.
Thing to find stuff cringy, is it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's only a negative for me. Like, if I could put it aside, I'd enjoy a lot more things, but I can't. You know?
I guess.
And yeah, to be fair, I do actually really like the story of this album. It's the presentation that I find a bit hard to swallow.
Yeah. It'd make a good TV series.
Yeah, I think that's the point we made before.
Let's make a great
book. Yeah. Oh yeah, but I mean, every story would make a good book. We don't talk about books here, though.
We touched on that before. We said, you know, if this was in any other kind of medium, where you know it had a lot of like again harking back to what I was saying about the E equals that song.
E equals MC.
The one with the Einstein in it.
The one with
Einstein
Einstein, you
in
know,
it.
like in regards to like the actual writing, if it had like scripts and stuff, and like as a show, like normally, I think it would be quite good and quite enjoyable. It's like an interesting concept musically, as a piece of like musical. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Well,
One thing that we haven't mentioned that I had in my notes was the genre mixing in this album, and also I think this is like a thing that he does in all of his albums. I was really impressed by it. It reminded me a lot of Opeth in the way that he just kind of slams genres together, and somehow it's not too jarring when they go from one to the other. Like there's a lot of folky elements in this, also a lot of heavy metal elements, and I thought the transitions were pretty smooth throughout. Like even if overall I wasn't that keen, like I thought that he did the genre mixing element quite well.
yeah.
Newborn Race has probably one of my favorite openings in a lot of songs actually I've heard. Like Newborn Race, that new like sort of fiddly, folky kind of sound, where it's kind of like almost sounds like it's played on the mandolin. Loved that. That was amazing. I really, really wanted more of that. And then literally in the same song, this is going back to what I was saying before, literally in the exact same song, there's a bit that's like sort of like midway through, and it's just awful.
But that's prog, bro. You gotta deal with that shit.
That's prog, yeah, and that's
If this wasn't prog, that awful shit would be its own song, and you can skip it.
And you could skip it, yeah. And that mandolin song would have been like a perfect song by itself, yeah. But because they have to, I guess, because one, it's prog, and two, because it's a rock opera, they just have to mash everything together, and sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't, and it's such a shame because it's definitely it could have been so much better than it was.
I think also we keep kind of giving it a pass and saying, oh, but it's a rock opera, oh, but the story is what's important and stuff. But there are other rock operas that the music slaps and it tells the story well. Like the example we gave in the previous episode was the War of the Worlds CD, which is like, the music's fucking great. And it tells the story, and it's not like just loads of exposition. It tells the story like through the music, and like without the need for lots of vocals and lyrics and exposition and stuff. Because like the concept, the story of War of the Worlds is I would say more complex than the story on this, but it's got like a quarter of the lyrics, and I feel like that's just because they told it through the medium of music and through the instrumentation and the atmosphere and stuff, which is why you would make a rock opera instead of just making a TV series or something, or just writing a book or something.
Yeah. I've still not heard it. My mum lent me it, but I've still not heard it.
I listened to that the YouTube video that you linked to. It's really good.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
definitely the best song.
I skipped through. I listened to sections, but yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, well, there's another rock opera thing that like I'm probably going to suggest in CHUB Cast in the distant future. Is Avantasia, which is like similar vibes to this. Also one of Claire's family's favourite bands. But I'm personally more of an Ed guy because they're silly. But
Ed Guy are amazing.
My favourite opera is a hip opera.
Oh yes,
what's that?
Kelly
Cooper.
Oh god, please no.
Dude, we gotta do
There's like 40 parts. It's got like a million fucking parts. It's on 2 DVDs. I sat down and watched the entire thing once. I can't remember who went, but
it's so fun.
Ridiculous. I love it. It's so good.
God damn.
It keeps going. You think it's fucking done when they find the midget in the closet, but it's not even done. Like it just keeps going.
Well, now I really want to watch it.
Oh, dude, we should have an opera special episode of CHUB Cast.
Oh god, I've been to an opera and it was fucking
really
boring.
Finally, some classical opera reviews in a podcast. What I've been looking for, and we do fucking.
Where's my opera podcast at? Kai, did you go to the opera with us?
Oh, my parents went to go see Phantom of the Opera, and they asked if I wanted to go, and I said no. But like musicals and stuff ain't for me in general. I don't really like musicals.
Yeah.
I thought that until recently. I was very against musicals, and now I've
Wait,
started
that's
being
cringe.
introduced to them.
I mean, I've never actually been to like a musical, so I'm like intrigued. I've seen an opera; it was boring and I hated it. But the best part of that
That's how
whole
I feel.
thing was this guy was like on like the rafters or whatever as you do, and he just got the deepest guttural voice, and he's just like, "Murk him." And then they beat the shit out of each other. He literally went murk him. That was like the best part. That's the only part I remember.
It was like a child opera or something.
Wait, is that a real thing? Really?
Yeah, it was at Glenbourne Opera House. Me, Emily, and Josh Garraway went because we got invited through the fucking archery youth club thing. Just on a whim. It was literally just like, hey, do you want to come see an opera?
Like, when it's about like selling bags and stealing wallets.
Yeah, it was like the streets and shit, but in an opera.
Oh no!
It was just bizarre, man. I mean, to be fair, I was like 15, so why the fuck would I give a shit? But I still went. I mean, and I'm glad I did.
I like films like Anotherhood, where it's all about that kind of subject matter. But can you imagine if Anotherhood was an opera?
Oh, I don't know.
Tyro.
I've recently been watching. What's it called?
True teller is a bad man, sweet.
How many links you got? 5, none. 5, none. 5, none.
God damn.
Such a good movie.
Anyway, final thoughts.
I
Kyle.
want to see this Chavy opera.
Anyway, I really didn't like it. I tried to give it my best shot. But literally, like the first, I went into it like I like prog. Oh, I like this, and I went to the first song and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and enjoy it. And legitimately, like the first song, I was like, oh god, it's just so corny, and it just kind of got more corny as we went along. And yeah, like what was the first? I think Connect the Dots was where I was like, okay, this just really isn't for me. Yeah. The one that really rubbed it in and was like, okay, I don't want to listen to this anymore was Web of Lies, where it's like it starts with the dial-up tone and it's like, ooh, our lives have been consumed by the fake internet and stuff, which could be a really interesting, well done concept, but it's really cheesy to me. It's like some like middle-aged woman talking in a chat room to some guy. I don't know. I like.
That's the song where Claire thought she was saying Dippy Eggs instead of Dear PX.
Oh yeah. Dippy Eggs.
Dippy Eggs, you really are the one. Dippy Eggs, yum yum.
50 soldiers again today.
Yeah. Bro. Oh my god, I can't stop burping this episode.
Yeah, just not for me. I've even given a couple songs, like I thought I liked The Fifth Extinction, and I put it on my bike playlist, and it came on the other day, and I was just like, this song fucking sucks. So like, I think I gave it a 4 out of 10 last time. I think I've got to bump it down to a 3. Like, like the concept's good, and it's really cool that you got so many prestigious artists together to work on this project, and the whole stage show thing's really cool, and it's something I think would be amazing to try and do ourselves, even though that's a fucking pipest of pipe dreams. And but yeah, the music is the important part, and the music wasn't good for me, so 3 out of 10.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Greg.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to be a little bit more lenient with it. I also didn't enjoy it very much, but I have to give a little bit of respect to what they're trying to do, and just the sheer scale of the ambitiousness of the project. Like, I want to give it like a subjective score, and then like a if I was into this in brackets kind of score. I can't actually remember. I gave it like a 7 last time, I think. It's difficult because I think if I was into their aims, I would give it like an 8. But if I went purely on my subjective enjoyment of it, it's got to be like a 3. So I'm gonna go with a 5.5.
Fair enough.
Seems logical to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter. Ben. Peter.
With that, I'm gonna put it.
Yeah, I guess I guess I'm gonna sort of bring the mood down a bit from Greg's score. Before I rated this a little bit highly, due to I thought I enjoyed like sort of the music a bit more and the themes a bit more than I actually did. In regards to like the actual story and everything that's being told, it's fine, it's decent. I think that like we said before, as a piece of media, as a story, it could work and it could be quite interesting because obviously it's tackling a lot of themes that I generally enjoy. You know, humans are pretty shit. We kind of fuck a lot of things.
Come on, man.
Like, you know,
I'm all right.
I kind of like, you know, really
I've got a
enjoy.
bamboo toothbrush. Come on, man.
You know, I like that kind of stuff in general. So I reckon, like, as a piece of like, you know, as a book, or maybe it could work as a comic where it's not like too serious, but it's like just serious enough where it's like, oh, you know, come comet, oh, let's go.
One of his albums came out with a comet, which I think
wasn't it the most recent
It
one?
was Transitus. We mentioned this.
Yeah.
One,
And
which actually is not a part of the Ayreon universe. Yeah.
Right.
The
Okay.
AU.
So I think I said that before. Like, this as a comic would have been really, really great because again, comics hit that fine line between like suspension of disbelief, where the cringy line or the noisome line for me, the distasteful line, can kind of be anywhere in the air because comics are kind of like, you know.
Yeah, it's silly. I mean, it would make a great Guardians of the Galaxy comic.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, you know, just fucking Star-Lord just jizzing on a comic.
Bro. I mean, it always reminded me of like at the end of Guardians 2 when there was like, I might be wrong, but like a planet trying to destroy the universe. That level of ridiculousness.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 somehow had like one of the most ridiculous premises.
My dad's a planet.
But it also had some
comedian. It was a comedy, wasn't it? So
yeah, but I think it had one of the most heartfelt and sincere themes that any of the Marvel films had. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, like if I could do a review of it, I would. It's one of the best Marvel films ever made. Anyway,
He may be your father, but he ain't your daddy.
But he ain't your daddy. Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, bro! I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all. That film is like one of the funniest, but also one of the most serious films that like the Marvel have ever made, and they fucking aced that film so much. Anyway, Ayreon.
Ayreon.
So where I kind of respect a lot of the sort of the themes that are going for, and it would make for a compelling story. Musically, I think it missed the mark a lot. There are some parts that I really did enjoy in this album. I liked The Truth Is Here. I really liked Walking Dreams. A lot of the female vocals where they're less operatic, more dreamy and more sort of singy were really, really powerful and really good. No shade at all towards the actual vocalists or musicians that are in this. They're all talented people, of course. But the direction where like some bits fitted in, like the things that Greg said that he kind of enjoyed where they mash things together, hated it on this. Like there were some bits in some songs where they absolutely should not have included it because it ruined an entire song. Terrible. So again, from a story point of view or anything like that, probably give it a 5 or a 6. Music, probably a 1. So I'd go ahead and give this probably like a 2.5.
Damn.
In like, because it's like honestly probably.
Okay.
You know,
Ice cold.
Well, looks like our reviews are much like a roller coaster, and I'm gonna bring it back up again. because of Claire's influence, I went into this kind of wanting to like it in the same regard where I wanted to like Mastodon, and when it comes to it, I want to like Interpol, and so I went into this like, right, this is one of Claire's favorite bands, and she's my girlfriend, and so I'm gonna try and like it. So I have to like it. No, I'm gonna try and like it a lot. So, and I did kind of like it. I literally agree with Ben, where there's some elements of this every song that like ruins it. Well, not every song. I think I did like all of Connect the Dots. E equals MC square. I actually really liked Whoever Flies. And I think it's River of Time that had like a lot of folk with flute and
yeah, that was a good song. Actually.
There was another song that had a didgeridoo segment, I think I remember, which I really liked. That's the thing, like, about prog, though, isn't it? Fucking prog. Oh, I have to listen to this 8.5 minute long song to get to my nice didgeridoo segment. Great.
Oh, bro, if you want some sweet didgeridoo, you want to listen to the legendary Strawberry Man.
I think I used the
what?
Wait, you've intrigued
the legendary Strawberry Man.
I'll bite, Greg. I'll bite.
He's amazing.
Okay. Maybe you need to recommend him one day.
Is he the dude who just records his videos like out in the fucking forest dressed as a yeti or something?
No, he's normally dressed in a big like strawberry coloured cape. He does shit with Dub FX, which is another guy that I am he's a reggae guy that I am planning on recommending at some point.
Hooray!
Stop it!
Oh, not again.
Yeah, listen to the legendary Strawberry Man and Dub FX live in Bristol. Best didgeridoo you'll ever
hear. Points. Age of Shadows and We Are Forever came on Claire's Shuffle today, and all right, rats. Fucking hell, calm down. Yeah, that song came out. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did I just suddenly go quiet? Okay, good. Age of Shadow and We Are Forever came on Claire's Shuffle today, as I said 3 times now. And, like, I just want to reiterate what Ben said. Like, that first riff with, like, the mechanical, like, sound effects, I fucking love. And then I really like the chorus and everything and the way it all sung. But then it just went on for, like, 2 minutes too long. And I was just like, okay, we get it. Yeah. So
okay, got it.
I also just want to like say that if I, for example, wrote an album on my Larry like this guy is, and I was fucking directing 60 musicians or whatever to do shit, fuck that. Props to that guy. Like,
yeah, it's an impressive undertaking.
It is impressive. But with that in mind, guys, I give this my completionist rating of play it.
Whoa,
Finna it. No, I don't know, because 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I said Mastodon was a grower, and this one has not grown, but Mastodon has, and I gave that a 6, so this is a 5. Let's go.
This is a shrinker.
Let's go.
Well, it's just
Let's
that.
go.
But I do want to say that, like, every time it comes on Claire's like Shuffle, I am like, this is cool. But maybe it's just the act of sitting down and listening to it, and nothing else is. I never do that. I never just.
There's a few albums we've done where it's been like that, though, hasn't it? Where it's like that Moonchild album where I wouldn't ever sit and specifically listen to it, but when you put it on as like background or something, it's really nice and pretty. But like, it's the same as like, yeah, it gets boring. But this isn't one of those albums though. Like, it kind of demands your attention. So.
Yeah,
nah, you're right.
I feel like there's one or two. There's a couple of songs that I could listen to if they just came on shuffle. It wouldn't be like jarring. But most of them, you'd be like, "Fucking, what are they singing about? Jizz Comets? What? Like what?"
Well, you said it actually, Greg. You haven't said it this episode, but you said that it's got like that Opeth effect where it's like, I love the music, but when am I going to listen to it? Well,
yeah, I said in that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I don't know when I'm in an Opeth mood, and it's the same with this. Like, I'm never going to be like, you know what I really am craving right now? 10111221 fucking.
Fucking Harry Hastings.
There's no 2 in binary. I fucked that up.
0800 Anyway, I do want to say that we've got on and talked about this Ayreon album for 50 minutes, which is like, I swear last episode we were struggling for shit to say, and this time we've like flown through it.
Now it's kind of like stewed in my hatred has only boiled and simmered.
I don't know, it's just weird. It felt like last time we recorded this, we were trying to like squeeze shit to talk about, and we went on for tangents. But this time we actually spoke about shit.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have enough to say, and then in this episode, I felt like I had way too much to say.
I do want to say though, for the Mastodon peeps out there, it's actually the reverse of last episode. Last time we tried to record this, we spoke about Mastodon for ages. And you guys came to the agreement that you would do like a Mastodon episode. Or not episode, not chat, but like video.
You're right.
So
Deep dive conversation about Mastodon. That is hopefully in the works. We can do that at some point.
Look forward to that, Tim and Amanda. But yeah.
There was no comments on the video. I don't think we got any tweets. So
No, Tim died. We're not sure what's happened to it. If anybody's seen him, please call us.
Yeah.
We're quite worried.
yeah, I messaged him and he never
Same.
replied. Boy.
I will message him too. Tim, this is a public announcement. If you are listening,
It's harassment.
please respond.
Tim, where is Tim? Quick, sound the Ayreon. Oh fuck! What was the thing? Sound the King Crimson thing.
Oh no! If my horn was in this room, if my horn was in this room, I would have just done that right then.
Tim, where's your horn?
Where are you, Tim? Tim.
Anyway, yeah, we had no comments or hashtags or emails, so yeah.
Our boy Andy Branch has been messaging us on Facebook though, so that's been cute and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
but-
wholesome audience interaction, but no reviews.
QQ. Albums though. Next week we are doing Funk head to head.
Funk.
Greg and Kyle are to pick. So Kyle, you pick.
Well, everybody already knows what we picked because we fucking did this already.
Now
But
the lovely listeners at home don't.
pretend to be excited and awed by the prospect. So my album was P-Funk Pioneers, Parliament, Funkadelic.
Ah,
With
bro.
their album
I love Parliament.
Connection. Let's go. Mothership Connection. It's a jammer.
Nice.
And
Greg.
Greg.
The mother sucker.
Let's fucking go. I was actually considering picking a totally different album just to shock you guys, so it would be for real. But now, yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna, because we've picked quite broad genre categories. I'm gonna change it up. Go with the legends of funk rock. Primus, Mr. Les Claypool. I'm the best bassist ever. Claypool man.
Primus.
And their album.
Whoa.
Yeah. Big show.
I love South Park.
Their album Sailing the Seas of Cheese, which is an original album that doesn't have the same songs as other albums. It's not a compilation. It's
definitely not best
the
of.
first one
Wow!
It's
knew
not
that.
a best of.
Wow.
Not
Primus.
Oh my god!
Incredible. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. We were. Ben.
Nailed it first time. Oh yeah.
Singles.
Oh my god! I have a single as well. You guys
Ben,
won't believe
what
what
are
it
you
is.
guys to pick? Wait, can I guess?
My choice.
Is it
Okay,
James
go
Brown,
on.
Get Up Off of That Thing?
No, but that's your choice.
Oh! It sure is. James Brown. Get Up Off of That Thing. Anyway.
Absolutely true. And my choice is going to be Rick James with Super Freak, she's super freaky. I made this joke before, huh?
It's
And it was funny then.
still funny now.
I literally only know who Rick James is because of Dave Chappelle, where he's like, "I'm Rick James, bitch."
Didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a
There you
thing.
go.
Right.
I'm gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to
lead
lead
us out
now for the.
Sorry, talking over
What a
people.
tight, controlled, scripted end to the episode. We
Hell
fucking nailed
yeah.
it, boys. Well done.
Those are the albums. Greg's choice is Primus, Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Kyle's choice is Parliament, Mothership Connection. I chose James Brown's Get Up Offer That Thing. And Ben chose Rick James, Super Freak. If you want to listen to any of them or all of them, please send your reviews to chubtheband@gmail.com or on socials, which are all linked in the description. Use the hashtag ChubView. And of course, just comment below on YouTube if you're listening to this on YouTube. If this podcast gave you a chub.
Like,
Like and subscribe!